sure that gets back to your dad. Could you tell me exactly where in your house that is? And I will go down and box it up for you.
It may or may not be in my little side table next to the bed.
Okay, so you're still.
I'm scared what's in there, actually.
Don't look. Do not look.
That's where they keep the big ones.
Oh, my God. Proceeding. All right, welcome back, everybody, to another RBM episode. Today, I'm joined with my co-hosts, Chris and David, and I am Joey. Today, we're going to be talking about health and wellness today. So we're going to be catching up with Chris on his weight loss updates, how it's been, what's been working, and more importantly, what hasn't. And we'll be diving into the importance of regular checkups, doctor's visits, getting enough sleep, vitamins, you name it, and more. So I guess without further ado, welcome, everybody.
What up?
We're here.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since we actually recorded. It's been a while, right?
It sure has.
Yeah, we took last weekend off.
Yeah, we took last weekend off. We had a couple things going on. So glad to be back in the studio with you guys, man.
Yeah, definitely. And before we jump into, I just want to say for all our listeners out there that are tuning in either for the first time or maybe this is your not your first episode of the RBM experience here, do us a favor, run over to social media, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok, search for Rise of Basic Men and follow us, like our content, reach out to us, let us know how we're doing, give us some love. We're trying to grow our community, and we appreciate your support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We want to build this up and have our reach and our message go out to as many people as possible. And we can't do that without y'all's help.
Definitely. Well, I guess without further ado, Chris, what's been going on in your life? How has the weight loss experience been for you so far?
Yeah, so I started out at 402, and I weighed myself today. This week has been, I don't know, I think it's the medicines that I'm on that are kind of messing with me a little bit, but I didn't lose any more weight from the week before. But last week, I weighed in at 20 pounds less. So I weighed in at 382. So huge win, down 20 pounds in 2 months.
Okay.
Which is a very steady weight loss. That's good. You don't want to lose 40 pounds in 2 months. I mean, you do, but
you can.
You can.
You can. It's not healthy.
It's not necessarily
healthy.
healthy.
The healthy way to do it.
Exactly. So 10 pounds a month is a good pace. I'm thinking it's I've been doing a lot of different stuff. I've also, like I said in the very first episode, I have fucked up a lot. So it's a constant battle. It's a constant battle with my mind. It's making that correct decision, because anytime I'm driving home from work, you don't need to cook food. That's going to take time. Just stop at Whataburger. No, Chris. No, Chris. No, Chris. And I'll say no as I'm like driving into the drive-thru. I'm like, and I go out the end. I go out the other end and go home. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
That's not bad. As long as you can pull into the parking lot.
No. That's too close for comfort right there. Chris, do you not have things that you're in your kitchen, or are you prepared, or do you think ahead? And you do have that in place, but you're still having these kind of urges?
Oh, man, the urges are always there. Like, I'll even be just sitting at home and like waiting for my food to cook. Like the 10-15 minutes it takes for the air fryer to cook my chicken. I'm like, I could totally order a pizza right now. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it all comes down to
you totally could, by the way.
Yeah, totally could. They have chicken there. I mean, it's drizzled in cheese and all other crap on there,
Sure. Well, what's been your go-to so far? I mean, we talked on it a little bit here, but we started June 12th. Was that like the exact day? Was it June 12th?
June 12th or 11th? I think it was
the 11th.
Was it the 11th?
It's definitely the 11th.
Okay.
Gotcha. So June, July. So we're 2 months in.
Right.
Going
2 months in a week or two.
Yeah. So 10 pounds in a month, right? You've had some ups and downs. Do you feel confident moving on, or do you think it's getting easier? Do you think it's getting harder?
Oh, it's definitely not getting easier. Just losing weight in general is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be 150 pounds and running ultra marathons like David over here. It's not easy to lose weight. And having a good support system, like we've talked about in the past, has been such a huge thing for me, right? I don't want to disappoint you guys, right? I don't want to, bitch out on the walks that we've done. I think this is 8 or 9 weeks consecutively.
Yeah, like 8 or 9 or something like that.
Yeah, we've done every Saturday we go walk Lady Bird Lake here in Austin, and I think last week we had 15 people with us, and building this community, and that's been a huge part of this, right? Because building that community. Where's Chris? He's not here today. He didn't feel like coming. Yeah, that's not gonna
work. That's not gonna fly for shit.
Exactly. So yeah, that's been a big part of it. Being more active, being more physical, has been a big part of it as well. Going out and doing these walks. I mean, the three of us will go on walks in the middle of the week. We'll go to the track at the local middle school, and we'll do a couple miles. David will run around us, and me and Joey are sitting there, BS and having a good time. And it always, I think I said this in a prior episode, how that sets up the day so well to where you just feel good. You're like, oh, I'm already at my step goal for the day. Everything else is cake. And then when you start off like that, you're like, I had a good walk this morning. I'm not going to eat this bullshit and ruin my day.
Yeah, ruin.
It takes a lot to wake up, to get out of bed. I mean,
my God.
I hate waking up early.
Dude, that's like the hardest thing, man, is waking up.
Definitely the hardest part. I nail it 4 out of 5 days a week. Today was not one of those days. My alarm went off at 4 o'clock. The coffee maker started making coffee at 4:05, and I got out of bed at 6:23 because I said nope.
Well, yeah, I mean, so that's another big part of kind of health and wellness, right? As Joey said in the beginning, like sleep is so important to being more healthy, being mentally aware, being more your body being better off. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's one of the big things I track that with. I got a Whoop and a Garmin and
Whoop.
Track. Yeah, so I track my sleep. It basically it'll track your wake events per hour, when you hit REM sleep, when you hit deep sleep, light sleep, and then when you're awake, and it gives you a full breakdown of everything on that.
Does it tell you when you snore and fart?
It does not.
Or does your wife tell you?
Nah, she can't hear me over herself. Just kidding, Maria. Just kidding.
Love you.
Just kidding. But no, tracking your sleep and understanding, what your body needs and what, if you're lacking in something on that, say you're not getting enough sleep and you feel tired all the time, that's one of those things where a tracker can really help that out. Or what you do is you can start taking a journal and just kind of writing what you did. A couple things: when you ate dinner, did you have anything to drink? Did you take any drugs? Did you do anything? And then just kind of keep a log, and then you'll kind of start to see this pattern of, okay, here's what I did on the nights where, man, I only had 1.2 wake events per night or per hour through the night. Or, okay, I woke up 3 times every hour. And I go, what did I do the night before? Usually when it's really high, it's going to be, oh, you drank excessively.
You drank a liter of whiskey.
A liter of whiskey. And then you'll realize, like, oh, the nights where I took CBD with CBG in it, which helps with inflammation, I go, shit, I didn't wake up at all. Maybe I need to stick with these gummies, and these are non-psychoactive gummies. I'm going to go ahead and say that. Also, I have some of those. But those are really great for sleep. It helps your body it helps your blood pressure go down a little bit. It reduces inflammation and allows your body to relax and get into that state where it's ready to go to sleep. Now, if you can get your brain to shut off at the same time, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
My trick to getting your brain to shut off is run a lot.
Into a wall. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
just run away from your problems.
Run away from everything. But that goes into a different thing. So that's where we go into, like, exercising, activity, doing stuff throughout the day, and not just being a couch potato. But as far as sleep, you're looking at, quantity and quality. So my good average on a night will be in the 6 hours and 45 range to about just under 7 hours. So right around the 6:53, 6:55. That's where I get a good night of sleep, a good recovery, and I'm ready to go the next day.
So you don't think 8? How do you feel when you get 8 hours of sleep?
I don't.
You just never do.
I never do, even on the weekends where I sleep a really long time. The only way I can get to 8 actual hours of sleep is by taking a nap.
Okay.
And if I'm taking a nap, it's
doesn't count.
usually because I went too hard the night before
Right.
and I need a nap.
Okay. So I was gonna say, so like if you are getting 6.5 to 7 hours of sleep, if that extra hour, do you feel worse off? Because sometimes when I go to sleep and I wake up, I get terrible sleep. I have a bad back and I wake up and it's a constant thing. But I'll wake up after like 5 or 6 hours of sleep and I will feel great. And then I'm like, well, you know what? I don't have to get up for work for another hour or so, go back to sleep. And then I wake up feeling like dog shit.
So the way I like to explain it, and this is the way it was told to me, I've seen research on this timetable and I've seen research on other timetables, but basically the body sleeps in 1.5 hour cycles. That's going to be like light sleep into deep sleep, dropping down into REM, back into deep, maybe go back into REM a couple times, and then coming back out every about 1.5 hours. And the way I mark this, I know what time I go to bed, and I know roughly what time I'm going to fall asleep. And then I can look, and in the Whoop has really helped with that because I can see when I'm awake, and you can clearly see about every 1.5 hours, I'll get up, either toss or turn, which will be like a little blip where it says I'm awake, or I get up it's usually every morning at 2:45 or so. I get up and I have to pee because I drink way too much water right before I go to bed.
Right.
Which, good tip, stop drinking water at like 7 o'clock.
Well,
And
how much water though? Like, are you talking about like frequent drinking of water, or like? Because me, I always have water on my bedside just in case, because sometimes I get a little more thirsty than other nights, right? But I guess I don't have a problem with waking up to go to the bathroom. But is it just not drinking fluids past a certain time, or not a lot of fluids, like excessive fluids?
You'd want to, if you're having issues getting up and using the restroom at night,
Oh, yeah.
then you'd want to stop drinking fluids probably a couple hours before bed. That way you can kind of empty out and then not get woken up by that. If you're not having issues with that, keep the water on your bedside. Like I do it some nights where I have a water sitting there knowing because I'm going to get thirsty tonight.
Did you guys ever used to pee the bed?
Used to?
David's
Let
like,
me
I did
rephrase.
it last week.
No.
At any point in your life, have you ever peed the bed, or
Yeah,
still do?
I was a child.
Yeah, I was a child as well.
And now I'm a man.
Now I'm a man with a beard.
That pees my bed.
Dude, I used to pee the bed all the time when I was younger, and I don't know what the doctors did, but I went in, and I don't know, maybe I was like 10 years old or less, right? And they put a catheter in me, and I was awake, and they filled me up, and I was so embarrassed because it's like a team of people, and they filled me up, and they go, all right, just let it out. I'm like, what? And I'm like, just start peeing, in something, I don't know. And after that moment, never peed the bed again. I don't know if it was like a torture type thing.
Did it hurt?
Oh, yeah.
They shoved a giant needle up your dick.
Well, it's not
And
a
you're
needle; it's a catheter.
Isn't that what a catheter? I don't know
No,
what the fuck
dude. A catheter
is.
is like it's like a plastic, flexible tube that allows fluid to go.
Ugh.
It's not like a needle. It's not like a
I thought there was like a metal piece on the
No,
end.
no, no,
I don't
no,
know.
no.
I've never thought about it really until just now.
No, it's like a plastic deal, and they actually put saline in this little side of it, and a balloon inflates in your bladders to keep it steady, so it doesn't come out when you're sleeping or anything like that. But dude, I remember when I was done with that, I went in the bathroom to get changed, like because the procedure was done, and I passed out. I passed out into the wall. I'm like, oh my god, I was dying.
How old were you?
I had to be like 10, around 10 years old or so. I don't know. I'm probably a little off. Maybe I was 15 or 18, but
It was last week.
this was last
It was
week.
while he was in the army,
Yeah. No, but
He peed on the top bunk and got
yeah, it just trickled
Guy below
down.
us.
guy below us. Is it
God
raining?
damn it, Myers!
God damn it. No, but for a while I had trouble sleeping a lot, and I went through this little motion for maybe a few years where I would get pretty much practically no sleep for a few days, and by no sleep I mean maybe an hour or two, until my body was like, you need to crash.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would spend that next day or two sleeping, hibernating and whatnot. And
quote unquote catching up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've never had like, I think I've gone like a roller coaster a little bit throughout my life of like, I've never had perfect sleep. But I feel pretty good now. Like I got a good grasp on it.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
you're using the ASMR to help you with sleep.
ASMR.
Not that kind.
Yeah, no, that I found that it helps me. It's the same thing as watching like Bob Ross or like golf. Or
Yeah,
something.
golf.
Yeah.
That'll put you right to sleep.
Yeah.
That's the number one.
During baseball season, what I do is I'll put a baseball game on, even if it was already pre-played. I know the San Francisco Giants is my favorite team, obviously.
What's with you in
Yeah,
San
nobody
Francisco?
cares.
But they have those the announcers that they have are just like very monotone voice. So and so is up to the plate. Hit. And then I'm just like done. I'm out.
And he's out. Next batter. Like how is that?
Yeah. Shh, Chris is sleeping.
I feel like the announcers now, I don't know if they're like making a switch or whatever, but I feel like they're more entertaining now.
Yeah.
They say some off the wall stuff.
The Giants have their old school announcers, and yeah,
They
put me
haven't
right
they
to
haven't
sleep.
died yet, so
No, yeah, exactly. Well,
that's what's
exactly.
happening.
Yeah.
They're announcers for 70 years.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, they're great announcers. Love them all.
Yeah.
Don't know any of their names. But
Yeah.
They have the same employee plan as our politicians. You just serve until you die.
Exactly. Oh man.
Won't go down that path.
Yeah.
Won't go down that path.
But
But
yeah, that's what helps me too is listening to something that's very calming and soothing. If there's no baseball or anything like that on, I have like a sleep playlist, and it's just like soft tones and stuff like that. Not sleepy tapes, but
Sleepy.
Yeah.
not what is it? Not Jeff Bridges. What's his name?
From what?
From what? You
Oh.
didn't. There's not a whole lot of
Jeff
description there, buddy.
Bezos?
No, he did the dude. He was the dude. Is that Jeff Bridges?
Oh shit! What the fuck is his name?
The Big Lebowski?
Yeah, the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be real great to have on the
Oh,
air.
yeah.
We can't fucking remember
I
the
know.
dude's name.
Guess who it is?
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Okay, we were right.
That was right. Yes.
Why did that sound
Boom.
wrong though?
I don't know.
why.
I don't know.
why. But yeah, he came up with that.
Oh,
the
yeah,
sleepy
Jeff
tapes.
Bridges, of course. Yeah.
He came
Yeah,
out
we
with
can cut
sleepy
that.
tapes, and it was hilarious. Yeah. But no, I don't listen to that. But like I listen to like soft tones and stuff like that, and it really, really helps me get to sleep. Now, staying asleep is a whole different ball game. Like I said before, like I have bad back pains, and it doesn't matter what kind of bed I have because I've tried them all. I used to sell beds, and I will just wake up and be very stiff. Like this last.
What do you mean?
Like very stiff in my back,
Okay. All right.
Joey.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, I'll be very stiff in my back, and so I've had back problems my entire life, not my entire life, since high school. I while lifting weights in football, I had a
Ruptured disc.
Yeah, it was like a ruptured disc, but I can't think of the name
An
of it.
impacted disc.
No, it's basically like it popped open.
Vertebrae?
Yeah, it popped open, and the
Vertebrae.
gel.
That's just the bone.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just
know what he's saying.
herniated disc.
Herniated.
That's what I was thinking of.
Herniated.
Yeah, and it was
Obviously,
touching the
folks,
nerve.
I would like to go ahead and note we are not doctors.
We're not doctors.
Clearly.
not doctors. This is just our personal experiences.
It's that one bone thing in your
It's that bone thing. Vertebrae.
Catheter's a needle?
Oh,
Hey, by the way, did we say what whiskey we're drinking now?
we had not.
Yeah.
We have not. Let's take a quick break, and
Okay.
we'll go right back into your herniated disc. But right now, guys, we are drinking Larceny whiskey. It's established in 1870. It's small batch, 92 proof, and it is a beautiful, beautiful whiskey by John Fitzgerald.
Nice.
So,
Tell me how it tastes.
you're not drinking it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, David
Sorry.
hasn't drank an
26 days I've been clean
He's been
until about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And
David's off the wagon.
yep, I'm off the
Ooh.
wagon.
This is smooth, guys. So, yep.
It's
Little-
good. It's
Little
good.
non-promotional break here. Larceny whiskey, very smooth, very tasty, and it's affordable too.
And if you're organizing knives in the middle of the night at your house, great thing to drink while you're doing it. Just, I mean, I don't know. I know it seems specific, but anybody could be doing that.
Are you talking about kitchen knives?
I think they were plastic knives. I'm gonna go with
You
plastic.
got hurt by
Yeah.
plastic knives?
Yeah. Somebody sent you, heard the last episode that came out this last week, the depression episode, and heard your knives only comment from your wife. I sent you that picture.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
No, Jesus.
All right. Without further ado, continue, man.
Going back into it.
Your
Yes.
So
when
herniated disc. I almost said vertebrated.
Jesus. Okay, so we're getting back into it. Yeah, so I had a herniated disc from lifting weights in high school football. Heard the pop when I was throwing up. I think it was like 415 or 425, something like that, in my end of my sophomore year.
Oh, is this ounces?
Pounds. But yeah, so I hurt my back then, and then I ended up having to have surgery when I was like 21. That was my first back surgery. And I had another back surgery for the same exact thing, but like 2 vertebrae up. That one was when I was like 26, 27. But that one was really bad. If we want to talk about some not necessarily horror stories from doctors, I was living in New Mexico at the time, living in Albuquerque, and I was literally handing a laptop over to one of my customers. That little laptop that weighed like 10 pounds.
A 10-pound laptop?
Seriously, I had my arms
What
extended.
was this, 1988?
Yeah. I'm just, 5 pounds. I don't know. Ounces. I don't know.
How do we know that the
we're
amount
in
of weight?
93 now.
How do we know the amount of weight that you were lifting is accurate now? Come on.
Know, but
I believe you.
415, huh?
Yeah. So you were lifting a 50-pound laptop.
And I was handing it to a guest, so arms extended, but I felt a pop, and then I immediately went down. Next day, I had to call an ambulance. I call my mom. I'm crying because I'm in so much pain. I cannot move, laying on the ground in my apartment. And ambulance comes, takes me to 2 different hospitals. And
Why?
I finally, because the first one couldn't take me in. They didn't have enough space. Then I went to another one, and all they did was shoot me up with morphine, put me in a room, and I was there at that hospital for like 4 or 5 days, I think. I'm signing stuff away, and I live out in New Mexico by myself. I have no friends or family out there, so I'm signing all this stuff. I end up in a rehab center where I'm the youngest person there by like 40 years. Everybody there is old, and you want to talk about depressed, man. I was so down.
How old were you again?
I was like 26, 27.
And
Is
how
that
old
long
were
ago?
these?
Say again?
It was that long ago?
Yeah, it was that long ago, man.
Jesus.
And so I knew I needed an MRI, and they wouldn't do an MRI. They were just shooting me up with morphine and all this other stuff. So I was in that rehab center for like 2 more weeks. So like almost 3 weeks worth of like hospitalization before they gave me a freaking MRI.
So they kept you in there for 3 weeks, shooting you up with morphine and being like, just wait. Wait.
They were treating the pain rather than the cause of the pain, right? So it wasn't until and I wasn't eating, I wasn't shitting, I wasn't doing anything. And until like my parents came, after, all that, they came up and I started getting better. And that really brought to attention the importance of having good support, because my health just like turned
100%.
And I started getting better. I was able to kind of walk. Like I was with a walker, like barely moving. And it was rough, man. It was really rough. So then I get that surgery again. It's the same exact surgery that I got when I was 21.
They fuse your discs?
No, I think it's called a discectomy. So what they do is, what a herniated disc is.
A discectomy?
Yes.
They remove the disc?
No, I'm telling you what it is.
Jesus.
Lumpectomy is removing a lump.
Yeah.
So what it is, a herniated disc, there's jelly inside your discs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a herniated disc is when that pops open, and then the jelly inside is seeping out and hitting your nerves.
And you guys can't see what he's doing. He's got his hands in a circle, and then one of his fingers pops open.
Yeah, and the jelly inside the disc comes out and hits the nerves. And that's what's sending the searing pain down your legs and searing pain everywhere. So what they do is they go in and they suck all that jelly out. And then that turns your disc into a degenerative disc. So you're not getting the pain from the nerves, but you still have a bad back. It's still a rough back.
Oh, my God.
So I've had that twice on 2 different discs, and in between those 2 discs was already a degenerative disc from before. So I have 3 in a row that are degenerative. So I'm always going to have a bad back. I may have to get them fused way down the line.
My neck and my back.
So after the surgery, so this is where my story is kind of going. Sorry, I'm kind of long-winded right now. After the surgery, they gave me Percocets for the pain. I was like, okay, perfect, thank you. And it worked, right? I was feeling okay, and
I was feeling okay. I don't know. You guys heard it here first. Chris is all gay.
It's really okay, Chris.
As soon as I said it, I looked up and I was like, oh, they're not going to let this go. But so I was feeling okay. After a while, I was like, okay, I don't need these hardcore drugs anymore. I go back to the doctor for like the follow up and everything like that. I'm like, I don't need these anymore. They're like, do you want a refill? I'm like, no, I told you I don't need these anymore. I'm good. Let's go ahead and give you a refill just in case.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
take the drugs.
No, I don't want these. And it just like really clicked in my mind how the opioid crisis has just taken over.
Yeah.
Because of the overprescription of drugs. I could have easily said, yes, I want these drugs, and just gone down the deep end, because the hardest thing, other than the pain from the actual injury, was coming off that Percocet. Like, it was like the withdrawals were insane. It was so intense. Like,
what did you experience? Like, what was that like?
Man, I was sweating. Like, I was having like really bad stomach pains. Like, it was just miserable for just a couple of days, because I only took a little bit of that stuff. But yeah, man, I can definitely tell why this crisis
became such a huge deal.
Yeah, man, the overprescription of it, because I was literally telling the doctor no, and he was like, "Well, let's just go ahead and give it to you anyways." I mean, I never went and filled it or anything. Hell, looking back, I probably could have and just made some money, but I'm not,
No, that's illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
You would never have done that.
Yeah,
we are stand-up gentlemen.
That's what I said. But
so, yeah. I mean, that's a crazy story, too. I had a back story, but I don't remember ever getting prescribed any hard drugs at all, which is very unfortunate, because I feel like I missed out, but it also sucked, because just like you, I was working out in high school, and I think I was doing like squats or deadlifts, which deadlifts are horrible to do. Every doctor I saw, they're like, no. You can do other things rather than that. But apparently my form was wrong or something. It had to have been my form was wrong.
Very easy to do. Yeah.
Yep. And I slipped a disc in my spine. There was like a hairline fracture in the disc, and my hip was rotated.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't kneel. I couldn't stand. I couldn't sit. I couldn't do anything for like even a short amount of time without being in agonizing pain. I had to go through therapy, physical therapy, doctors, all sorts of stuff. I never had surgery, though, which I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't have to resort to that, because I feel like surgery is like the last resort of things. But for a whole year, this is in high school, like maybe I was a junior, maybe. But I don't recall being on Percocets or Oxys or anything. It was,
you were just too messed up and you can't remember.
Maybe that was it. Maybe that
was just younger.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah, maybe it was an age thing. I don't know, but man, it sucked.
Let me ask you this, because this is something that I still, whenever with all the back pain that I still have, about once or twice a year it gets bad. Like the other day, we were supposed to go work out at I think it was Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And I could not. I got up to go to the bathroom, and I could not walk. It was so
Wednesday.
bad.
It was my sleep-in day, and I had to get up at 4 still.
I was up, but
which is why I didn't get up this morning.
Yeah, so I mean, it gets like that, right? So when your back was really bad, or if you guys have bad backs that ever had them, when you look at your bed and you go to bed, are you just like dreading bed because it's going to be painful waking up? That's how I feel sometimes, man.
Not at all. Rough. No, that's a you thing, which is very unfortunate. I kind of look forward to sleep, because it's a time where I can kind of gather my thoughts. I can relax. It's not. Honestly, my days are, I get up and it's nonstop. It's work. I have to deal with the dog. I have to go do something else or whatever. Then you cook dinner. It's just nonstop. And I don't even have kids. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Social media posts.
Yeah.
Well, he's got 2 idiots working with him on this podcast that can't figure out social media.
Yeah, I'm apparently the only person that knows social media. But yeah, I don't know. Is that what you go through then? Like you kind of dread going to bed?
Yeah, when my back's really, really bad, yeah, it's definitely like that, because I can never really get comfortable when I'm laying down in bed, whether I'm on my side, my stomach, or my back. It's always painful. So getting to sleep is hard. And then when I do get to sleep and then I wake up, like I'll wake up, I'm like, okay, I'm in a comfortable spot, but I know I need to get up and start moving. Sure. And that beginning to start moving is so painful, and it takes me forever to get out of bed. So when it gets really bad, like on Wednesday, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird, and I'm sure there's so many more answers that we can't even think of why things happen to us, right? It's not just one thing. There's many answers to why things are happening. But again, there's not one answer to this, but the only thing I can think of is this. I remember I was so active all growing up, right? Played sports in high school, middle school, whatever, and was in the military, very active there. And the moment that I got out of the military, so I'm like 23 or so, and start going to school, I become less active. Right? And I start feeling, you ever heard of restless leg syndrome?
Yep.
That made up syndrome?
Oh, it's definitely not.
It is not made up, man. I could not stop moving my leg because it was so uncomfortable. And it wasn't necessarily comfortable when it was moving, but it was better than not moving. And I constantly had to extend my knees, re-extend them, whatever. And it lasted a long time, but there's nothing they can do about it. Anytime I went to go get checkup, they're like, yeah, if it happens again, just let us know. I'm like, what? And I have to pay for this? But I think by not being active and keeping up with an active lifestyle or walking or doing things other than just sitting down at your desk or whatever you're doing, I think that has a play in how your body reacts. Like I feel like I have really bad knees. It could be genetics. I don't know. Have you guys experienced anything like that where maybe David, you led, or Chris, you led an active life and you stopped doing something and you saw a payback from that?
Yeah, absolutely. I run into that occasionally if I take time off from doing something, I'll basically, the way mine is probably more a mental thing. I get in my head and I can't get my brain to shut off, and then it'll cause my leg to just kind of be uncomfortable, especially when I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
And so I'll have issues with that. And so I usually combat that by walking, running, rucking, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's the reason why my back's hurting now is because I have been more active when I was not active for so long. So my back's like, hey, what are we doing? What are we doing over here?
I feel like that kind of, it sucks that that's what you're going through, because here you are trying to be very motivated and active and your weight loss journey. And then as you're doing these things, your body's going, dude, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Right. And so you want to be active, but then there's this wall you have to get over.
Right.
And it's not easy because it's nothing you can control necessarily. It's pain. It's your pain receptor saying, hey, fuck off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The mantra that keeps me going. Cause Wednesday was really bad, but the next day me and David went out and did our walk.
Mm-hmm.
The whole mantra, like you said, or I think somebody else said, it's like, just fucking do it.
Just fucking do it.
Just go.
Yeah, I believe that was Nike. And then
that was
like
Phil
it's like
Nike.
the Michael Scott be like, just do it, David. Nike.
Well, no, there was another guy that you guys listened to that said that as well. I can't think of his name now.
You're thinking of like David Goggins.
David Goggins,
He didn't say it like that.
Oh, yeah.
He throws in some cuss words and puts you down while he tells you to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, don't be a little bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean that's what's getting me through that now, because if you stay sedentary, if you stay sitting down and not doing anything, you're not helping your back, right? You got to be more active. You got to work through that, and
you do.
And
You really got to push through things, and you might be like, it's even if you're not hurt, but you go work out for the first time, and you're like, God, I'm sore. It's not the same thing, but it's kind of the same mentality of being like, I'm gonna push through this. I can't tell you how many times, like in the military, I've had my foot filled with blisters. My back sucks from like rucking so much with all this weight on. Just do it. Like you'll have time to take some Advil or some ibuprofen and drink some water and blah, blah, blah. Like, they don't take care of you. They just tell you some basic things to do. They're just like, yeah, don't be a bitch, like David Goggins. Yeah. You're like, okay.
I mean, everybody here would get a kick out of watching me get out of bed in the morning. Like it's not pretty. It usually involves lots of cracking bones.
I was gonna say,
and like it's not like I just get up and like walk to the kitchen. It's limping and kind of warming everything up, the joints, the muscles, and then, I always start the day with a walk instead of going for a run right off the bat because holy shit, if I just like get up and start running, I'm going to fucking injure something.
Yeah.
Hold on, I just imagine David waking up and like you guys would be scared if you saw me and like we see him waking up and he's like, like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody would be scared of that.
That's really scary.
And your wife sleeps right through that.
Oh yeah,
She wears earplugs.
Yeah.
It's more of like the old man grumble, like, oh
Yeah.
fuck.
So like getting older now, right? Like I find myself like just getting up off the couch. There's always a groan that comes with it. Like not even thinking of it. Like, ugh. I'm like, oh damn it, I did it again. Like,
Yeah, my wife fucking relentlessly makes fun of me for that. She's like, I didn't do it on purpose. She's like, yeah, but you did it.
Life just becomes harder. Little things like getting up. Like my knees pop constantly. Even when I'm sitting down, I have to extend them. They go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, as we get older, are y'all's bodies making more noises?
Yeah, mine definitely do.
Yeah.
I am known at work as like from other rooms. They'll hear somebody walk into the back office, and then it'll be quiet. And they'll be like, "What's up, David?" I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, we can hear your ankles." They're just every step.
Here's a thought, though. I don't know if you guys relate to this at all, and I don't want people to assume this with me, but maybe. Is, you know how when you get up now when you're older, you're like,
Yep.
Or sneeze.
Or sneeze, whatever it is.
That's a bad one.
Do you think you're kind of just done? Like you're like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time I sneeze, I'm like, this could be it. This is going to be the end.
Oh,
You sneeze, you're like, fuck, I survived another one.
Dude, I've definitely thrown out my back from sneezing. I think I sent you guys a message when that happened. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm out for a day or two because I sneezed.
Dude, I broke out my back because I was, you know how you lift your friend up to pop their back? Like you put your arms around their
You
chest.
threw out your back.
I did. I was lifting up somebody. I'm not going to point out who, but
He's pointing at me.
It was someone's wife.
Marie, she's so tiny.
She is. It's not her. That's what I didn't want to say.
She weighs like 2 pounds.
I know.
Joey picked up 2 bottles of whiskey at once to crack someone's back.
It has nothing to do with the person. It has everything to do with me, okay? And I was like, yeah, let's just pop some backs. I was out for like a month. What's that machine that like zaps your, it's like a little sticky.
I know what you're talking about, the electrolysis
something machine or the
like
electrodes,
that,
yeah, the electric.
I had that after a car accident one time.
Oh my God, that helps so much. So your bad back, you need to look up the little electrode machine. I would put it on the highest setting, pain gone.
Oh, the thing was amazing.
I kept it on for like an hour, and when you take it off, it's still numb. Your back.
Yeah, I used to fall asleep because I went to like a physical therapist, and that's where like, I think this will probably work, and they'd put it on, and I'd fall asleep in like 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
I was like, do they sell these to everybody? Because I could just take this home and we could kick that fucking 1.3 wake events per hour down to 0.
Yeah.
Just sleep until someone turns it off.
No, yeah, that my dad had it, and he's had his own problems, and I think he got it from like the VA or something like that, and I still got it. I need to give it back to him, but damn, that helped like no other. Like pills, medication, put that on, it just numbed the pain.
Well, just to make sure that gets back to your dad, could you tell me exactly where in your house that is? And I will go down and box it up for you.
It may or may not be in my little side table next to the bed.
Okay, so you're still.
I'm scared what's in there, actually.
Don't look. Do not look.
That's where they keep the big ones.
Oh my God. Proceeding.
So back to health and wellness.
Yeah.
I kind of reminded myself of a story. So I mentioned the VA with my dad, and that's where he got that little machine. But at one point, I started having chest pains, right? And whenever I would lay down on my side, whatever it was scary enough for me, who I don't always think, let's go to the doctor. It felt like things were moving in my chest when I laid down. That was the spooky part. I'm like, oh my God.
That's
So
fucking weird.
Yeah.
at that point, I'm going through school, so I don't have insurance, but I have the VA, right, being for the military. So I go in, and in the VA, you have to wait in a waiting room. It's like you grabbed a number, like you're at the meat market or something like that. And you just, not only are you just in this waiting room, but you're looking at every old soul in there that you know is going through hell, right, waiting for their name to be called. So that's your first experience waiting there. But they called me in, and the doctor came in and asked me, hey, what's going on? So I told him, I was like, I'm having these really scary chest pains. They're very painful. When I lay down, I feel off, right? And he goes, okay, well, let's do a little physical. So he did a little physical stuff. Then he took my blood, and he came back, and he goes, so we got the results, and you have a high liver count. And I go, what is that? Like, what does that mean? And he goes, well, it could mean you have hepatitis C. And I go, what's hepatitis C? And why might I have that? And he's like, don't worry. I'm like, how are you saying this right now?
Did we bypass A and B already? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Is this worse?
I've always been a C student.
Yeah. And he's like, don't worry. Just come back in tomorrow. We'll do more tests. So I'm going home thinking to myself, like, I'm looking up hepatitis C. How do I get that? What did I do wrong? Like, I know I went out last night, but like, come on, like, what did I do? And of course I go through the same thing again. Go back in. You're waiting in the waiting room with all these other people that, they got their own stuff going on. You pulled in, and the same doctor takes a blood test again, and he comes back and he goes, yeah, you're good.
Oh,
Nothing else. Doesn't tell me anything. Just like, yeah, you're good.
What about your heart?
So I go, well, what was this hepatitis C thing that you mentioned? He goes, oh, yeah. You just had a high liver count. Did you drink the night before? And I go, I think so. He goes, yeah, that was it. I go, then why did you tell me I might have hepatitis C? Like, that's all I was thinking of whenever I went home last night. He's like, I'm sorry. I go, well, what about my heart, right? My chest or whatever the hell it is. And he goes, well, if it continues to happen, just come back in.
Great.
I go, I'm back in. This is my second time. Tell me what to do, and that's a good example of why the VA sucks. At least that's my experience. And I know you can get the same thing with other doctors too. I've had it where they're like, you go in for one thing and everything's fine. You don't really get taken care of, for the reason why you went in. But that was a scary moment. I didn't know what hepatitis C was. I still don't, but I was scared for 24 hours.
Yeah. This is before WebMD.
Well,
WebMD just basically tells you, like, oh, you have a slight cold.
You're going to die.
Dead.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the only reason why that's there is to tell you why you're going to die. And, but
that should be called, why are you going to die?
But that was a little weird. So I still go into visits, obviously, like, if I'm feeling off or a lot of pain that I don't typically feel, I'll go into a doctor to get checked to make sure what the hell's going on. Like that back that I told you, my back problem, when I went in for that. But by that time I went in, it fixed itself.
Right. Yeah, so you go to the doctor more reactionary versus like being precautionary, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one thing I think I could do better at. Like, I don't remember last time I went in just to be like, yeah, I want to get a physical, and, it's usually just reactive.
So one thing that, I think is really important is getting a regular physical and things like that. I was not good at this at all. Last physical I had was like 3 years ago. But I recently went, with the weight loss and everything like that. I wanted to make sure, see where my levels were at and everything like that. So I went this was probably, 3-4 weeks ago. And, got a physical, got my blood taken care of and everything like that. Thinking, okay, I'm a bigger guy, so I might have high cholesterol. I might have, everything else that, under the moon. And so I go in, get my blood drawn, and then find out. I went in on, I think, Thursday or Friday, and then I found out on Monday they send me the results, right?
But why'd you go in, though, in the first place? Were you just like, I just need to go in because it's been a while, or what?
Yeah, it's been a while, and I'm a big
And he
guy.
was starting the weight loss journey, and so you want to make sure everything was,
okay.
See where he was at to start, and then that way 6 months down the line, you do another one, and then at the end of the year, you make sure everything's still fucking copacetic.
Right,
Gotcha.
and also, truth be told, as a bigger guy trying to lose weight, you go to these places, maybe you get a prescription for some of the help, weight loss help and all that kind of stuff. So I go in on a Thursday or Friday. I get my results on a Monday, and my follow-up appointment was on, I think, Wednesday it was Wednesday. So I find out on Monday. I get the email, and it shows me all my numbers. There's some reds and stuff like that. My cholesterol was actually pretty good, and liver enzymes were heightened, but
Good for you.
Good for me, yeah. Oh yeah, David.
Yeah,
Anyways,
we just found out mine are a little high.
Yeah,
but we knew that.
Yeah, but the biggest thing that I saw was my A1C count. For people that don't know what the A1C count is, that's your blood sugar levels. And so if you're above a 6.5 on that A1C count, you're considered diabetic, type 2 diabetic. I was at a 7.3 or 7.4. So now I am considered a type 2 diabetic. So if I had not gone in to just get a wellness check, a health check, I would not have known this, and this could have been detrimental to my health down the line without knowing. So I am type 2 diabetic. I did a lot of reading on it. I had my freak out day. I think I texted you guys on that.
You did?
I had my freak out. I was, looking up all this stuff. And I go in on Wednesday, and the doctor was very, hey, you're above it, but you're not super high. You're already starting your weight loss journey. Because I told him about, I told him about the podcast because I wanted him to listen. But, I told him about the weight loss journey and everything like that. He goes, you're already in the right direction. The good news is that because you're in that range of diabetes, I can get you on the Ozempic and your insurance will cover. And so, yeah, now I'm on Ozempic, and that's actually going to help a lot more with my weight loss. And, I'm on other medication that I have to take twice a day, every day, essentially for the rest of my life, all covered by my insurance. So having good insurance is really important, especially if you're our age. But, yeah, so regular checkups are extremely important, because if I had not gone, I would never have known.
Well, let's take it back a little bit, because like you mentioned, I mean, we were virtually with you, when you were talking to us about this news, and I'm curious if you could share how you felt about this. Like, obviously you had to have thought about this, right? This maybe were weighing on your mind maybe more recently, or I don't know, but can you try and explain to everybody what was leading up in your mind for a while, maybe, but also what happened when it hit you? Like when that doctor told you that, tell us what through your mind as well.
Yeah, so like I said, it had been 3 years since I'd gotten a checkup, and the checkup I got before, I was, pre-diabetic. I think my A1C was at like 5.9 or 6.1, something like that, where, like I said, the cutoff is 6.5. So I was pre-diabetic, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm still pre-diabetic. God, I hope not. I hope I'm not above it, whatever. Then when I saw it, it was a shock, but it was already kind of like, well, I was already close to that anyways. And with the lifestyle that I had lived, let myself go and everything like that, it's not a shock, right? It is a shock, but I was kind of already thinking that. Now, like I said, that day I kind of spiraled, and, I'm looking up all the stuff, like what my life is going to change. And obviously it needed to change. This is going to be something that really propels me to better myself. But yeah, my mindset that day was full freak out mode. And it was like beginning of work when I saw that. So my whole day at work, I was just like thinking about it, like, oh shit.
So you saw it on paper?
Yeah, it was an email that I saw on my phone. Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah. Luckily, it's not like it's not type 1. I don't have to inject.
You weren't born with it or anything like that.
It wasn't Maybelline,
Yeah, right?
Maybe he's born with it. Anyways. But, it's a lifestyle change that's needing to happen. It sucks that it's come to that for me to realize, hey, dumbass, you need to be better. You need to be around for your friends and your family. You want to see your niece, grow older. Yeah, you're not going to do that if you continue to do what you're doing. So it sucks that this had to happen for me to, light bulb and, get it going. But I've come to terms with it now. And obviously it's focused me on the workouts and the diet and stuff like that.
It could be a blessing in disguise in the long run.
Right.
Because this type of diabetes type 2, can go into remission with weight weight loss,
Right.
diet, just a wee bit of self-control.
Yeah.
So good thing you didn't, you pulled right out that exit.
Exactly. Yeah. On the whatever. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Man, okay. Well,
Yeah.
what have you done since then? Obviously, we do our walks. You talked a little bit in the beginning too, right, of your journey so far. What are you doing outside of the walks, with us on Saturdays or when we meet up during the days and everything else? Like, what is there anything different that you're doing or something new that you've added, to this?
Not really. Really what it's been is cooking more, and eating more lean meats, trying not to have pizza. Pizza is like my one thing that I cannot say no to sometimes. It's so hard.
Mine is cookies. I've been eating one cookie a day.
How big is a cookie? It's like one of those cookie
Cookie
pizzas.
cake.
Yeah,
It's a I believe it's called a pizza cookie.
a pizza cookie.
No.
Uh,
Normal size cookie.
yeah.
Normal size cookie, white chocolate and macadamia nut cookie.
There you go.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I buy 6 a week and I get 4.5 to 5.5.
Well, when you start hiding the cookies around the house so you can eat more of them, I think that's when you'll start.
I don't have
having
to hide them. I just put them on the top shelf.
a problem. Because your wife is short.
Man, David's really going for that black eye.
I
bro.
know, man. Yeah. So, guys, I'm getting a divorce.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, it'd be like, so I'm gonna have to quit the podcast.
Things are rough right now.
Oh,
You're eating
man.
cookies. Yeah.
Well, speaking of cookies, that's another tough thing for me because at my job, I work at a private airport, and they have cookies there all the time.
I hate
free.
that. It's a
It's like-
love-hate thing because it's
and-
like, cool, they feed us, but like, why do you always have to have like something on the
And
table?
it's like my desk is facing right at it, and I'm just like staring at it all day.
Could have got a fruit basket.
Where's it at? Where's it located? Is it in like the little lunch area? Is it in the front?
No,
somewhere?
it's out there
It's-
for the customers.
Yeah, it's out there for the guests out
Dude.
there. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
it's a
are they
coffee-
good? Are they good cookies or are they shitty cookies?
They are very good cookies.
Oh, fuck.
How about
Yeah.
this? How about this? Hear me out.
I would not.
Carry Vicks Vapor Rub in your pocket and rub some right above your upper lip,
Just start huffing. Yeah.
so you don't smell. Yeah, so you don't smell the cookies and you block the smell out.
Yeah, that's true.
And
When they freshly make those things, it fills up the whole place.
You're not helping yourself.
Oh.
You're not.
Like Homer.
You ever
looking at
microwave a
donuts.
cookie?
That's one of my my worst days. Is like I'm having like a really good morning. I walked 4 miles with the pups. I've maybe ran 10 miles right after, and then I'll get to work having a strawberry peanut butter shake, protein, all this stuff. I'm doing good. I show up to work, and they're like, "We brought donuts," and I'm like, "Fuck you."
Of course I will.
And yes, I will only have 3.
Oh, get this. I think I might have told you guys this. Maybe I don't know. But so me and my wife, we were up in North Austin, like outside of Austin, and we went to Round Rock.
Oh, because those are the donuts I'm fucking talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we were close
Round
by.
Rock donuts.
I think I've had one or two before during my over a decade here in Texas, right? And I saw that we were close by. I was like, I picked her up and I was like, hey, well, we need to go to Round Rock Donuts because we're like a block away. So you go up there and you ask, and they got individual donuts, and of course you can buy them by the box and everything else, the dozen. And we go, we'll have this cream-filled one. We'll do one of these. We'll do one of those. And she goes, I want a glazed donut. And I go, make it 2. He goes, okay, all right.
Only 2.
So total, we ordered like 6 donuts, so 3 each, and we shared.
Oh,
right?
I know where this is going.
So we're waiting outside, and mind you, it's like 180 degrees outside here in Texas, right? So we're waiting outside. It's not an indoor place. It's like you go up old school, and order outside.
Stand in front
Yep.
and wait in the heat.
This lady comes out and she goes, order for Joey. And I go, that's me. She had 2 dozen glazed donuts, 2 boxes, and then 2 bags of like the individual. And I didn't say anything because I'm like, and you would ask, well, Joey, how'd you not find that in the price what you paid? That must have been a lot.
Yeah.
We ordered a water, a coffee, and these 6 donuts, and it was like $14. And I was like, cool. I think a coffee is something, majority, and a water maybe. It was like $14 for over like, what is that, 24?
What time of day did you guys go?
It was like midday.
That's probably why.
Yeah,
They're just
they
trying to get rid
dropped
of
the
them.
price, but holy shit,
It was a lot.
And the reason that happened is because they are famous for their glazed donuts. People do not order individual glazed donuts.
But they have
I
a large
don't even know.
donut.
The Texas size one. Yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah,
like-
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like
big as
that's
your
from
head.
what I understand. That's not super great. It's too big. Doesn't cook right. You got to get. But I'm not even sure you're allowed to order the glazed donuts individually.
I
think
looked.
they only come.
No, I looked. When I went back because they forgot one of our
Did
things.
it say?
We ordered a kolache, and I went back because they didn't give us it. So I went out of the car, sweating my ass off, right back, and I was like, "Hey, you guys forgot this." And while I was there, I was looking at the menu below, like on the little table, and I was like, "It is individual and by the dozen." But this kid was like, "All right, you ordered 4 individual ones, and we're gonna order like 24 like glazed."
I've only been there 3 times, and every single time I've been there, I've ordered a dozen or more donuts.
Of course you would.
4. I mean, usually these get brought to work. Brock to work. Brock Lesnar.
Brock Purdy. Let's go.
They get brought to work. Yes. And then you eat. So it's frequent that you have Round Rock donuts around you then.
Yeah, probably. I mean, once a month.
Just say yes because I'm going to say that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. Wow.
I mean, yeah, 12 times a year is a lot for one donut place, I think.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not eating a lot of donuts. And
Speaking of donuts, I had donuts at my wedding.
You
Instead of
did.
cake.
Yeah.
Because that's better.
I mean, same amount of sugar maybe.
Yeah, right.
I think it's more.
Well, going back into this, I have one other story because you just got done talking about your. And I'm not trying to compare. I mean, I'm sure diabetes, getting that information right there it's a wake up call, like you said.
Yeah.
It can be scary.
Very.
We talked about sleep. You're probably not getting any of that, when you heard it. There was a time when I experienced a lot of like itching of the scalp. I started seeing, I still got it now. I got this little red mark on my nose. I started seeing these red.
Oh, I just assumed Alex, or your wife,
She hits me.
punched you.
Yeah.
Just not super very hard.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. Okay. No, she does
You
not.
just say,
She
I
does
can
not.
either confirm or deny
I
that.
can't confirm. But yeah, so I started seeing these dry areas on my arm, my scalp. I started itching my scalp a lot. I started seeing hair fall. I'm like, what is going on? It just kept going. And I'm like, well, I'm seeing a lot of like dry skin, little flakes coming down.
Cookies, yeah.
I go, I'm going to order some Head & Shoulders. Why not? We've seen that commercial many times in our lifetime. That shampoo sucks.
Yeah, it makes your hair fall out.
Yeah.
The Perithian zinc or whatever it is. Yeah, that stuff's horrible.
It does nothing good for you. So if you're listening to this right now and you're experiencing the same thing and you go, oh, Head & Shoulders, you just don't do that. Well, I finally went into a doctor, and I think I don't know the specialty, maybe a dermatologist or something, and they diagnosed me with psoriasis. And you want to talk how crazy the medical industry is and about the benefits of having some type of insurance? She goes, I'm going to put you on this medication that you have to inject into yourself every X amount of days. It was like every quarter, right? Every 3 months or so, every 12 weeks. And I go, okay. And I found out that shot, one shot it's called Skyrizi.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I remember
You
that
know?
commercial. Yeah.
One of those shots is like $15,000.
Jeez, yeah.
15, it might be more. I think it was like 17, but I want to say 15. But with my insurance, they have a member card or something. I don't know how I got it, but you say, oh yeah, we'll give you this card. It drops it down to like $100. And then with my insurance, it drops it down to $5.
Yeah.
Like
Actual cost to make it.
yeah, right? Yeah. Exactly. But that's something that I was like, man, because I'm the only man in my house that has hair. like older brother, dad, I guess my grandpa had some hair, whatever. But so here I am pulling out my hair, scratching. I'm seeing like scabs. It's disgusting, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, I remember everything. But since I've been taking these shots, no itching, nothing, and it's great. But I kind of took a while between first experiencing these symptoms and actually going and getting checked out. And I really wish that I would have got checked out sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, getting checked out is a really important thing, and having good insurance. Like I said, I know that's kind of a tough thing. That's a very situational thing. But if you have insurance, that's a huge advantage. Because like what you're saying, when I got prescribed the Ozempic, I looked at it was like $3,600, $4,000 for one of the little pins that they give you, because that's a shot as well once a week. And with my insurance, it was $25. I was like, wow,
yeah,
that's insane. So for sure, it's definitely if you don't have insurance, definitely look into it, because especially if you're getting into your mid 30s like we are, things start to go awry pretty quick.
Yeah, mid 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I was going to live forever. I really didn't care much growing up, because I'm like, nothing will happen to me. But the older you start getting, the more you need to be aware of your health, what you're doing, the changes you're making in your life to better yourself.
Right.
Because you can go like yourself. You kind of like went so far, and now you're at a point where you're like, I need to make a change.
Yeah.
Right. And we're all going to experience things throughout our lives where we need to get checked up, like my psoriasis, or really anything that you guys experience in your lives. And just know that we all have our own things going on in our lives, but the more important thing is that you're aware of what's going on in yours. So I'll say this before we leave here. If you've made it this far, please, again, follow us on social media. We're trying to grow the community. We have an Instagram. We got Facebook. We're starting a TikTok. Please go over there right now. Give us a follow, like our content, and reach out to us with any other ideas, any comments you had over our topics so far, our episodes. And if you want us to talk about something in general, too, that might hit a nerve or something that matters to you, let us know.
Yeah, we'll take all the ideas that we can get, This is not just for us. This is for everybody out there. If you have a subject that we haven't gone over and you're like, man, it would be cool if they talked about this, we'll talk about it. We're going to listen to it to our listeners out there. And yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. If anybody knows any more about diabetes or anything like that, hit me up. I'm all ears. If you have questions about how I reacted and you wanted me to go even more further into it, hit me up or hit us up. If anything that you heard today struck a chord, we'll answer anything that comes up.
Yeah. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. And as usual, keep rising, keep inspiring, and remember, your story matters.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Go.
Take it down!
Just know, though, are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay, we're recording.
We're not. We haven't started.
All right. But if you guys do talk, we can hear you, just so you know. Okay? All right.
So can everybody else, though.
Yeah. Which is us.
So either join or
Yeah. All 3 followers.
Yeah.
Which is us.
I don't know what's going on. Are you recording?
Yeah, he's recording.
Yeah.
He's gathering his thoughts
Okay.
for the opening.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember because I said it really good earlier,
You
and I'm just.
you threw some things.
How about
together, yeah?
this? How about you just try it and
Yeah.
just say, this is Off
Let's-
the Rails, Rise of Basic Men, Episode 1.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say episode 1, but just
Well, it's
like,
Off the Rails.
Definitely not episode 1.
Yeah.